Hey guys, today I want to share with you how you can purposely build more drama in your images. Contrary to what some believe, it is not about being in the right place at the right time. You actually do have creative control that can help you to produce images that are stand out and beautiful and really draw the viewer's eye in. And I would like to share that with you now. Add drama to your images using color. The colors that we see every day are the colors that we see every day, but it's usually a big mix and a mishmash of colors all the time. I have the black camera in front of me, the green grass beside me, I have the wood color of the deck, I have the white on my door frame, and it's all there all together. Some really dramatic and beautiful images are ones that are monochromatic. And by that, I don't just mean black and white, but maybe a very dominant orange color or a very dominant blue color. It's fascinating, and color can really stimulate the mood and the emotions when somebody is looking at an image. So using color is a very effective way to produce dramatic images. Maybe you have a stormy sky and it's all blue and it's different shades of blues, and you just draw that out into your image. Maybe you crop out some of the other things while you're taking the image that are taking away from that color. Maybe it's a post-processing crop. Maybe you're going to add a filter afterwards, but color is definitely an effective way to enhance drama in your images. So a 50mm lens is a lens that is closest to what the eye sees normally. Now that's not to say that a 50mm lens can't produce a dramatic image. It absolutely can. But one of the tips I want to give you is to try a different lens, maybe a really wide angle, maybe a fisheye lens that's like, woo, really crazy, right? Maybe a 300 so that you can get something that's far away and usually something that you can't see close up. There are lots of different ways to use a lens to produce something that is different. One thing that I love to do is to use a wide angle lens, 16 to 35 for example. And what I'll do is that I will have a scene in front of me. I will get very close to the foreground subject that I would like to have in my image. And what that does is it kind of distorts the foreground to make it really interesting while the rest of the image plays out in behind it. It definitely creates a different perspective than we are used to seeing with just our regular eyes as we walk from place to place. If you're doing a forest image, for example, and you use a really wide lens, you're going to have maybe your trees start to bend on one side or another. You may or may not want this, but it is something to experiment with. Finding an unusual or capturing an unusual and beautiful image is going to take some experimentation and some creativity. So don't be afraid to switch lenses and to get out there and to try something new. You may or may not like minimalism in photography. However, I do want to encourage you to try it out. I think that minimalism has so many different applications in photography, and it can be used in so many different ways to enhance your images and make them really exciting. The thing about minimalism is, just like color, how I'm seeing a whole bunch of colors all at the same time, the human eye sees a whole bunch of things all at the same time, all of the time. We are constantly seeing an entire scene in front of us, and our brain is then selectively focusing on here or on there. However, when you take an image that is just mostly, I don't want to say blank, mostly just one thing, and then there's something in there that stands out, or maybe there's nothing in there that stands out, but it's just a soft pattern, or a snowy landscape, or just something very simple, just one set of yellow flowers that just kind of go on and on into the distance. Now we're talking something that really is like, oh, wow, I've never seen that before. Beautiful. Try minimalism. Try and see if you like it. Patterns make an incredible impact in images. Patterns are awesome. I mean, we see patterns everywhere, but if you can just focus in on one specific pattern in an image and just highlight that in your space that you have on the canvas of your camera, it's amazing. It can be just incredibly beautiful, whether it's forest trees or fence boards or rocks, or marbles and the curvature of the marbles, anything. There are so many different patterns in our world, and patterns can be quite striking, especially when you combine them with good lighting and good color. Definitely go for patterns and see what kind of drama they bring to your images. When you have a scene before you and you want to emphasize something that is dramatic about it, do that. Emphasize what is dramatic about it. Say I have a beach scene and there is a water spout or something in the water, and it's there out in the distance, and it's really cool, it's really beautiful, and I want to emphasize that. So I'm going to take my image and I'm going to arrange my composition in such a way that it highlights that water spout, and I'm going to adjust my exposure and my f-stop to highlight that element in the image. Say it's a branch on the beach, and I want to highlight that in this beautiful wide scene. I'm going to think about, in my image, what is it that is unusual and that is beautiful and that I want to really pop out when I'm looking at the final image. When I'm shooting that picture, I am going to go and I'm going to purposely think about how I can emphasize that in my image in a way that really brings the story I'm trying to tell to life. Now, I know that I said that it's not about being in the right place at the right time. However, definitely go and try to find subjects that are dramatic, that are exciting for you, that make you feel the emotion that you're going after. If you love sunsets, go find a dramatic sunset, and you are going to be able to produce drama in an image much better if it's something that you're passionate about, or if it's something that gets you excited to look at while you're there. Then you're going to have a much better time making dramatic images. So yes, being in the right place at the right time is good, but you can decide to be in the right place at the right time, or you can at least maximize your chances of doing that. I love stars, so I am going to go out to California in a few weeks, and I'm going to do astrophotography, a workshop out there with a bunch of different people, and I'm going to learn more about doing it, and I'm going to be out in the Mojave Desert. That is not something that I'm just going to run across in my day-to-day things, but I'm willing to go out and travel and try to make that a reality. So I'm going to be looking for dramatic images while I'm out there, and I'm going to make the time to do that, because why not? It's amazing. In terms of post-processing, there's lots that you can do to enhance the drama in your images. Especially if you shoot in RAW, you're going to want to do that. You're going to be adjusting your saturation, your colors, your contrast, your tones, your everything. You're going to play around with that image with your editing software. One thing, if you have this option in your software, is dehaze. I like to use dehaze on skies. Say I'm out somewhere and there's this beautiful cloud pattern, but it's not very obvious. The cloud pattern, as long as it's there and I've taken it with my image and I have my raw file or maybe even a JPEG file, when I go into Photoshop or Lightroom, and you could be using a different software, if I apply a dehaze to the sky, sometimes you can get this amazing, amazing dramatic sky. And I just want to encourage you to play around with that. Play around with your post-processing. Try the dehaze on your skies if you're looking for something that looks a little bit dramatic. When you use dehaze, just be careful of the color. Sometimes it can really distort the colors that are in the image, and you're not going to want that. You're going to have to make adjustments to make sure that you don't have like a bright strange blue or a purple in the sky. You're just going to have to maybe do some selective edits and even that out. But it's a really cool tool and it's really fun to work with. The most important thing to keep in mind when you are trying to build images that are dramatic and that are so beautiful that you can't help but look is to take an image that shows something that we don't normally see. This is what I mean. When I am, hanging out and I'm looking around on my porch and I see a bird go by, or I look at the gardens and oh, it's all so beautiful. But I see these things every day. People see things everywhere they go. Every time they turn around, there's another view in front of them. To produce a standout image, try to capture an image that shows something different. And by that, I don't mean choosing a subject that is unusual. By that, I mean you might want to throw some unusual spin on it, like a different angle perhaps, or using a lens that really accentuates something very interesting about a scene. So thanks for watching this, guys. I'm not talking about documentary photos here. I'm talking about those images that are just boom. When you look at them and you're like, wow. And I don't mean documentary by, the actual genre of documentary photography, because of course there are images there that are like, wow, stand out. I mean, I'm not just recording the scene in front of me and I'm just standing there and I'm like, click, click, click. That's, yeah, it's okay. But I'm talking about those images that really make you excited. The ones that you enter in that photography contest and they definitely are contenders for the win. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions or if you want to just say hey, please leave a comment below. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I should say thank you. There's been so many new subscribers lately and you have no idea what it means to me. All of your comments really mean a lot to me too. If ever I miss a comment, I'm so sorry. I try to answer them all just because this is the whole reason I'm doing this. It's because of you. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.